She's coming. She's almost here.
Well, it's here. Director Andrew Dominik's Blonde dropped on Netflix yesterday after screening at film festivals, and he told CineExpress that he really feels like he's putting himself out there, with his film about Marilyn Monroe.
I'm excited, but I also feel vulnerable, a little bit vulnerable.
That sensitivity does not come across in his film. Blonde has skyrocketed to the top of the Netflix movie chart in its first 24 hours, but with all those eyes come a lot of backlash. Viewers are calling it sexist, cruel, and one of the most detestable movies ever made, and I agree. Blonde wants to show us the real Marilyn or Norma Jean, but it doesn't do it through a sympathetic lens. It does it through a misogynistic lens where Marilyn is the one at fault for men abusing her, degrading her, and mistreating her. Adrian Brody, who plays Arthur Miller in the film, said at the Venice Film Festival that he applauds a bold perspective like this.
A movie like this, first of all, and storytelling that is as brave as this is essential for many reasons. Right? We've witnessed a lot of awareness of the struggle that women have faced for a great deal of time.
I'm all for brave filmmaking, but it still has to be responsible filmmaking. Like, Blonde gave me the same gross feeling that Spencer did, the film where Kristen Stewart starred as Princess Diana. When you're depicting a real person, you can't just do whatever you want. In Spencer, Diana was portrayed as someone who is certifiably insane. Blonde makes Marilyn responsible for her own mistreatment. Andrew told the British Film Institute, "I'm not interested in reality, I'm interested in images. So I selected every image of Marilyn I could find and then tried to stage scenes around those images." What a stupid way to approach a film, to base it on still images. Okay. He also said, "It's about a person who's going to kill themselves." To present a person's life that was 36 years long as just a preface for them killing themselves is just ludicrous and very narrow-minded. It's truly offensive. Justin Chang, the LA Times film critic, said, "The film isn't really about Marilyn Monroe, it's about making her suffer." New York Times film critic Manola Dargis wrote, "Watching Blonde, I wondered if Dominik had ever actually watched a Marilyn Monroe film, had seen the transcendent talent, the brilliant comic timing, the phrasing, gestures, and grace." Yeah, it seems like Andrew really hates Marilyn Monroe. Variety said, "In focusing exclusively on the most miserable aspects of her life, Dominik is doing the same thing he's supposedly criticizing. Monroe was a victim, but she was also so much more." Addressing the backlash, Andrew told The Wrap that the problem isn't him if you don't like his film, it's you. And he says the people that don't like his movie are trying to rescue her. They're just trying to rescue her from me. But I think that when you have the desire to rescue somebody, probably the person they most need rescuing from is you. Ha ha ha. He actually welcomes the negative reaction. "I actually see that as a measure of the film's success. I think the primary relationship is between you, the viewer, and her, the character, and nobody else in the story understands why she does what she does, but we understand it all. And so you're sort of sitting there helplessly as she is a lonely person trying to negotiate this world that is just not interested in the reality of how she feels. And just have to watch as she's unable to conquer her own demons, and that's the whole idea of the movie." Sure, we have sympathy for Marilyn, but as he previously said, Blonde sees Marilyn as just someone who is going to kill themselves. That is the destiny of their life. Not someone who was one of the most charismatic movie stars ever, who succeeded in the misogynistic Hollywood system, but as someone who brought abuse, mistreatment onto herself. Marilyn was the problem. Part of me recognizes that this movie made me think about why I hate it so much, made me articulate it, and it challenges you to, really think about why you hate it so much. So I recognize that art, that can be the purpose of art sometimes, is to really enrage you and make you really define what you value. But it crosses a line for me when it's about a real person who is dead and can't defend themselves against this kind of depiction. Marilyn endured a lot of mistreatment in her life, and she doesn't deserve to continue to be mistreated 60 years after she passed away, especially in 2022 when we know better. So shame on you, Andrew Dominik. I will say Ana de Armas is fantastic. It seemed like an odd casting choice, but she really impresses. And in a truly ironic and truly sad moment at the Venice Film Festival, Anna said regardless of the film's reception, she got emotional just acknowledging the impact that playing Marilyn had on her, and no one really seemed to care. They just wanted to move on. But yeah, what did you think of Blonde?
Whatever happens, it's the experience I take with me, and this movie changed my life. So it'll be what it'll be.
I think unfortunately we have to finish here. We run out of time. Thank you to our guests and thank you for the film.